Hi, I'm Sandy Genovese, and I turned 50 today. I'm such a little liar. I didn't, but I'm going to show how easy it is to create a card, in this case for someone's 50th birthday, because I have a friend that's turning 50. But of course, you can cut the numbers for any age, and if whoever you're giving it to is not at the stage in their life where they're really wanting to highlight what number birthday it is, then you can do their initials, or you can do a word, joy, or whatever. It can be letters or numbers. The idea is that they stand up, which makes it great for them to put it on display, and they will fold flat like so that they can go into an envelope and go in the mail. In order to do this, you want to start with the numbers or the letters. And if you have die cuts that work, that's great. If you don't, just go online, pick a font you like, and enlarge it until it's the size that works for you. Once you have that pattern, in this case, this is the 5 that I'm going to use, you need paper that will accommodate this. So you want paper that's going to have a pleat right down the middle. Start by folding your paper in half. And then fold your pleat, and how fat this pleat is just based on how big of a base you want your stand-up numbers or letters to have. So mine is about between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch. So fold it, and then open this back up and reverse fold this one spot. So you end up with a long sheet of paper that has one accordion pleat in the middle. It's an easy way to make that happen. And of course, start with paper that's long enough to accommodate your pleat and the size of whatever alphabet or letters or numbers that you're using. Then you want to take, and this is going to be, the pleats are going to be at the bottom. If I trace this like so, I'm going to have to go back and erase my pencil line because this is the right side of the 5. So what I'm going to do is turn this over. You can see I've already done it with pencil. I'm going to flip this over so that I'm tracing on the back side, and it will always be on the back, and I'll never have to worry about going back and erasing around my pencil lines. So lay it down so that the bottom of your number aligns with the fold. Lay it down, and then with your pencil, trace around it all the way around. And then once you have that traced, then you're going to want to cut it out. You're going to cut everywhere except the pleats at the bottom. This needs to remain intact so that it has a base. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and use my pencil line with my thing held together, and I'm going to cut out both of these layers together. So I'm almost done. Remember, you're not going to cut along the folded base. You're going to leave this fold intact so that your number, or if you choose a letter, will have a base. Eventually, I'm going to put adhesive on this top, and you can see that when I fold open this bottom base, it's going to allow it to stand up. But before you actually glue it together, we're going to want to add the decoration because we're going to cut slits. And it's easiest to cut the slits if you can hold it back open and use it flat. So at this point, we're going to decorate what would be the front. So let me grab up these 2 that I have here. Bring this up and show you what I did. I did it for both the 5 and the 0. First, I have a darker shade of brown, and I'm just going to free cut enough to look like icing that fits along the top. So you can draw it with a pencil if you want to first, but it just needs to be freehand. So, because icing, of course, doesn't look perfect. If you have scallop scissors, you could use those too. I should have marked. I don't really know how far I need to go. Oh, good. I've already gone plenty far. So I'll take and put adhesive on the back of this. And I'll go ahead and place my icing, and I'm going to go off both edges because neither of my ends are very straight. Well, actually this end is straight. Maybe I'll line this end up. Let me do it with my tweezers because then my fingers are out of the way and you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so let me line this up with this edge and I'll line up the top and then press it down. Remember, I don't bother to take the time to do solid adhesive. You're going to want to do more adhesive than I did. And let me trim off the excess. I am going to add slits for the candles, but let me go ahead and finish the icing. In order to get what look like the layers inside the chocolate cake, I just have about a 1/2 inch strip. And what I'm going to do is, once again, freehand cut the idea of just a wavy band that would look like icing. And you need to cut long enough to cover the expanse of the number that you're using, in my case, the 5. And of course, I'll probably have enough here to do the 0 as well. So when you get to the end, the reason that I did this on a 1/2 inch strip is now I have the icing for both layers. So if I put adhesive, let's see, how far is this going to go? I'm going to need adhesive that goes about to here. Decide where you want that layer to go and place this down. Trim off the excess. And I did such a long strip that I can use the rest of that strip, but if you started with a piece that was only about the width of your number, you could use the other side in order to create the next layer. I'm going to go ahead, since I've got some adhesive already on this, and I'll go ahead, just put more adhesive. This is going to be long enough to put my second layer of my chocolate cake with chocolate frosting. And once again, trim off the excess. Now, in order to put the candles, what I did was, you can just attach the candles, but I wanted the candles to actually fit inside of a slit. So what I'm going to do is take my cutting pad and my X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to cut just a wavy strip. And I want to try to cut through your X-Acto, mine anyway, never wants to go through 2 layers at once, but I'm just cutting a loose wavy strip because that will make the candles look a little more random. And the candles are going to go inside. But first, we have to build the candles that we're going to sit in there. So let me move these a little bit out of the way and show you what I've done here. You can see that I've set it up so that you can see I started with these 2 candle shapes. These were die cuts. I took a little deeper shade of gold and I used it to add a section that looks like a flame. And then I went and I took patterned paper and I'm going to set it right on top. So let me pull these candles towards me so that I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. And I'll go ahead and I'm going to place my patterned paper. I'll put my adhesive on the back, on the front of the candle so that I can place my patterned paper, in this case just some paper that I made, right over the top. And then I think I like the shape better when it's just a tiny bit narrower at the base of the candle. So I'm going to trim a little bit of a wedge shape off of the bottom. So you can see I'm going to create candle shapes. I have lots of them already created here. I have a sticker strip. If you want to add sprinkles on your cake, you can take your scissors and just take these sticker strips and cut through and then pull off these little sticker pieces and use them to create sprinkles. I'm not going to actually stop to do the sprinkles because I want to show you how to do the candles, but the candles are then just going to slide into the slits that we've cut. And I'm not going to stop to glue it because just placing them in here will be enough for you to see how this works. But you can see they're going to just sit inside. Put as many as you want. Overlap, under, over, you know, however looks good. Let's go back and look at the one that's completed. So you can see as many candles as you want. They can be glued or taped just to hold these in place. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of tape. I think in mine I actually used adhesive, but this is going to be a little faster to just tape those. You're going to want to position them so you like how they look and go all the way to the edges. But once you have all that solid, then you're going to place adhesive, and my adhesive is going to go along this top strip. It doesn't have to be the whole thing, and depending on your number that you've chosen, just enough to pull these two sides together. Place your top and bottom layer together and just press. And you can see it's going to make a perfect number that will stand up. And as I said, if you're sending it to somebody who really doesn't want to advertise their age, then do their initials or do a short, you know, a short word, love or joy or something that relates. You know, you can celebrate a special birthday with oversized numbers or letters that literally will spell out your message.